think we're live. We are live. Come on in. Come on in. Very quick live. Come on in, grab a plate. I have some food that I want to serve you. Some food for thought. I promise you I won't keep you long this evening. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. Another episode of Roll the Tape Podcast with Manager Marty. I'm your host, Manager Marty. Come on in. We have to have a very lengthy discussion because we family at the end of the day. But the truth must be revealed. I'm going right in. We're going to deal with the realities of where we are right at this moment. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I welcome each and every last one of you tonight. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me this evening, and I appreciate your time. Come on in. We have some things that we need to address head on, as a family does. Roll the Tape Film family, come on in, come on in. Have a couple of things that we have to address. Let me do this for a minute. I don't like how this looks right here. Bring me down one time. Bring me down one time. I want to make sure everybody can see me real clear. Make sure we all can understand that we're going to be on the same page tonight, right? Yes, we are. Come on in, come on in. Got my bow tie on tonight, though. Yeah, baby. Woo! Come on in, come on in. Salute to all of the members of the channel. Double salute, matter of fact. Double salute to all of the members of the channel, supervisors of the Roll the Tape Film crew. Double salute to each and every last one of y'all that's watching me live in living color right now. That's shouting me out in the live chat. I appreciate y'all tonight. If you're watching the replay of this live, double salute to you. I appreciate your time. We're going to have a very, very short audience tonight. Whoever comes to class, they come. Whoever's here, they're here. Whoever is not, they can watch the replay. But we have to go on with the show. Come on in, come on in. Now, here's the thing. Time and time again, I tell you all, I don't ask for much, right? I don't ask for much. Can I get at least one like? Can the likes be congruent with the viewership? Can I get at least one like? I don't ask for much, I promise you. You know, it's a couple of things that I have to say to start this live off, right? We have a lot of audio. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I would say a significant amount of audio that we are going to play this evening. There's some paperwork that I want to read to all of you. We just want to make sure that we're on the same page. Okay, we see a lot of my trolls in the live chat. I see you. I know, I see you. I see you. A lot of my haters are here watching. I see you. I appreciate the viewership. I appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that all of you, whether you like me or not, whether you agree with me or not, are a part of the 2.8 million views that we have worldwide on this channel. I appreciate you. I want to first start this live off by clarifying a few things, right? It's amazing to me how when I am expressing the facts of any situation, it doesn't matter what it's about, right? When I'm addressing the facts regarding any situation, any incident, any occurrence, anything that involves boxing on this channel, it's amazing to me how people find a way in my comment section, right, in the live chat, like right now, where they start insulting me, not responding to the facts that I'm expressing in the videos that I publish, not responding to the facts that I'm expressing in the live broadcast, but instead throw shots at me. I just find that, I think that's amazing. I do. I just wanted to address that, right? Now, Fred Red 50. I have moderators, right? Let's keep this professional. Let's keep this respectful as men. I have moderators on here, right? Moderators, right? Check this out. Y'all see what's going on in my live chat, right? I don't have to tell you all this. You all know this, right? You see what's happening in the live chat, right? I never tell any of my moderators to time someone out. There's only one time, and this is all public record. You can go in my shorts on my live, on my shorts on my content. When you like navigate through my channel, there's only one time that I told the moderators to block someone off of the channel. Some of you were not here, and that's okay, right? I'm trying to drive a point home. There was only one time that I asked my moderators, right, to block someone or kick someone out of the live chat. And that time was when somebody was in my live chat disrespecting Terence Crawford's mother. Some of y'all remember this. This was 2 years ago before Terence Crawford 40-year-old Spence, right? And someone made some derogatory statements about Terence Crawford's mother, okay? Now, I said all of that to say, there's a guy, I'm not going to say his name. Moderators, y'all are here. Y'all see him in the live chat, right? Y'all see him in the live chat, right? He made a reference about my mom. Moderators, take care of business, please. We don't have to go back and forth. I don't mind people hating on me. I don't mind people throwing shots at me. I don't mind people insulting me. It's all good. It all comes with it. But someone made a reference about my mom in the live chat. I'm not going to say his name. Moderators, please do your job. I don't care what we talking about. Don't make a reference about my mom. My mom has nothing to do with my YouTube channel. My mother is still alive. Don't make no references about my mother. Under no circumstances. Okay? I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm being professional. Y'all see I have my suit on, right? Right? I'm keeping it respectful and humble. Anybody that made a reference about my mother in my live chat, moderators, I don't want to see that no more. Double salute to my guy, Mr. Altruistic. Appreciate you. He's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll to Tape film crew. I didn't give you a wrench. I thought I gave you a wrench, Mr. Altruistic. I got you. Don't worry about it. One thing about my mother, since we on her. My mama told me many years ago, probably 35 years ago, if somebody hits you, hit them back. That's what my mom told me. Now, since somebody brought up my mom, right? Let me tell y'all how I learned how to fight when I was a little kid. This guy, and anybody that grew up with me, you know this is true. This guy was bullying me, right? This is a true story since somebody wanted to bring a reference of my mom, bro, right? There was this young boy, right? He was bullying me. Everybody know I'm from the projects in North Philly. We all know how. Oh, okay, don't forget where I'm from. Anyway, young boy was bullying me, right? So one day, I didn't want to fight him because I wasn't confident enough that I could actually beat him. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm like 8 or 9 years old. But anyway, I'm sure moderators, I'm trying to figure out, why do I still see that man in my chat? I'm not going to say his name. Y'all hear, y'all see what's going on. I don't want to see his name in my chat. I don't have to tell you what to do after that. I have a lot of moderators. Thank you, all things. I appreciate it. Now, since we back on my mother, 8 or 9 years old, right? Kid was trying to bully me. I wasn't sure if I can beat him or not, but I still wanted to hand him a fair one. But then he done came back with 3 or 4 people. It was like 4 other little kids. Now remember, we 8 or 9, okay, years of age. 8 or 9 people, right? They tried to roll on me. They tried to jump me. So I got scared, thinking they was going to jump me. Got what I did? I ran. It's a true story. Since we talking about my mother, right? Yo, I ran to my house. We in the project. My mom looking out the window. Right? My mom see 3 or 4 kids chasing me to the house. My mom looking out the window. I'm getting to the doorstep. I'm banging on the door. My mom is in the window. I'm thinking my sisters and brothers going to come open the door for me. Banging on the door. My mom said, "Who messing with you? Which one?" I said, "Mom, the one right there in the red shirt." My mom told me, since we talking about my mom, right? My mom told me, "You better fight him one-on-one. And you ain't coming into this house until you fight." My mother wouldn't even let me come back in the house until I fought him one-on-one. So I would never run from somebody. You understand? I just want to make sure we clear on that. No, I'm just saying, I'm just telling the story that just came to my mind since we talking about my mom, right? Oh, okay. And guess what happened to the young boy? Guess what happened to him? All because I was mad because my mom wouldn't. I was already mad that they tried to roll on me. But I was even more mad that my mom was going to force me and make me fight that kid. And not let my sisters and brothers open the door for me. I said all that to say, after I finished beating him up, the 3 other friends that was there, they ran. And guess what? I ain't run ever since. Okay? I just want to make sure why am I bringing that up? Because this situation right here requires me to stand up tall. I don't shy away from controversial matters. I got to stand firm. Stand firm even if I have to stand alone. There's a lot of things we're going to deal with tonight. I just wanted to get that introduction since somebody made a reference about my mom, right? Double salute to my guy, Jeremy Austin. What's up, Jeremy Austin? Appreciate you, big dog, for the super chat. Warming it up. Warming the air fryer up. Now, listen, I made a statement to a homie of mine on the phone. He's in the live chat. I told him earlier. I told him for the last 48 hours when we was talking on the phone. I told my homie this. He's in the live chat. He know who he is. I said, listen, I'm not going to be animated tonight. I promise you. I'm going to be calm. I'm going to be chill. I'm still keeping my word, but somebody made a reference about my mom. So I figured I'd tell you a little story that I learned from my mom, right? A real life situation. You know what I mean? So with that being said, gotta give you some entertainment, right? Okay. Then, of course, later on in life, I learned how to box, learn how to fight in the boxing gym, whatever. Bottom line is this. We have a lot of ground to cover. P Flame is in the building. I see you. Father and sons, double salute. What's up, big dog? I see you. Oh, yes. Because he's the moderator that took care of that situation for me. Double salute. All things. What's up, all things? Now, listen. It's a lot of narratives, right? We're going to address that right now, too. I want to play a few things that we heard leading up to where we are tonight regarding this incident with Terence Crawford in law enforcement, Omaha Police Department. Come on in, y'all. It don't matter if you're late. It's okay. You didn't miss anything. Come on in. Grab a plate. I have some food that I want to serve you tonight. Some food for thought. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Let's talk about it, right? I'm going to play a few pieces of audio because I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Salute to my guy, D1. Appreciate you, D1. So I see you in the chat. Show Nuff. What up, Show Nuff? Play some audio. Because there's a couple of things that was said leading up to the information that we have today. We have the paperwork. A lot of people had a lot of narratives. What's up, Steve? Steve Mega, what it do, homie? A lot of people had a lot of narratives, right? So we want to make sure we dissect that and make sure we can uncover the truth. I have the paperwork. No, I didn't call a police department and ask for it. No, 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 no. It was the press release that the chief of police and Omaha Police Department released to the media, given the actual transcript of the body cam footage and the body cam's audio and the dash cam audio and an actual timeline as a description of everything that happened from the time Terence Crawford was pulled over and let go. All right? I have the paperwork. You're not going to find this anywhere else. I usually say you ain't going to find this nowhere else. But I'm wearing a suit tonight. So we're going to be as articulate as possible. What up, Sin Ironheart? Salute, big dog. I want to play a piece of audio that we've heard. I'm not going to play everybody's audio because I wasn't a watchdog. But anything that came in my feed or anything that people sent me, I screen recorded it because I wanted to see like if we all was going to be on the same page leading up to this incident. Now, I told you all last Monday, I told you all last Tuesday, right, that people shouldn't rush to judgment. Remember that? Most of you were here. Okay, most of you were here. We have over 1,000 people watching me live right now. Okay, but most of you were here last Monday and last Tuesday when I said that we shouldn't rush to judgment. Remember? We shouldn't rush. We should wait until more information is disseminated by all parties involved, if possible, before we start giving a diagnosis of what happened, right? So I want to play a few things that we heard thus far. Let me see if we can get the audio of that. Some of the narratives that was driving the YouTube boxing community and the algorithm. And we want to make sure that we're going to be on it because tonight, you're not going to find this information anywhere else. Okay? I'm going to play audio and I'm also going to read the legal documentation, the paperwork. Okay? That's going to debunk the racist allegations. I know some of you are going to be upset with me. That's why I wore my bow tie tonight. But at the end of this live, there's one thing that we're going to conclude. That Terence Crawford is a free man. We're going to conclude that together, right? All right, let me play a piece of audio. And let's see if when we play these pieces of audio, in a few more minutes after that, we want to make sure that the information that we heard before the paperwork came out, before the chief of police came out with his statement, before the mayor of Omaha came out with his public statement, we want to make sure that whatever misinformation that was disseminated to the media, we want to make sure that we weed that out tonight. And then we're going to get to the evidence, okay? All right, now listen. I'm not here to insult Terence Crawford. All right? Let's be clear on that. Because you know everybody say I'm a Terence Crawford hater. I don't know how you can even say anything like that when all I do is try to help Terence Crawford. I mean, you're not going to find one video. And I have over 1,000, almost 1,100 videos, 2.8 million views right here in 3 years. You're not going to find one video where I gave Terence Crawford a pet name. You're not going to find one video where I insulted Terence Crawford. You're not going to find one video where I disrespected Terence Crawford. All I ever did is give you all facts, whether it was about Terence Crawford or someone else. All right? Now, let's get to the audio. I want to play something to make sure we're on the same page here. Let's see if y'all can hear this.
Tries to frame this is not shocking, but it is bizarre. So the Omaha law enforcement tries to frame the pound for pound king who represent the city and got the keys to the city twice and multiple big parades in Terence Crawford in that diabolical pullover where he was detained, and the officer's reasoning for pulling out his weapon in his description is that when he approached the car and the driver's side where Terence Crawford was driving, his head security was in the passenger, Coach Malachi was in the back with a young lady in the back, and Terence Crawford, they saw a weapon on the floor panel between his legs, when the truth of the matter is Terence Crawford, when the officer walked up, informed the officer that he has multiple legal firearms in the vehicle. They tried to frame him and they wanted to take him out and send a message to the black community.
All right, that was Blue Blood. He said the Omaha Police Department tried to frame Terence Crawford. They wanted to take him out. And they wanted to send a message to the black community. That's what Blue Blood said. This is all leading up to where we are tonight. I mean, there were so many people who had so many different narratives that they wanted to put out there to the public without waiting to get the information. There were people claiming that basically these white police officers were racist. And they set Terence Crawford up. They knew that it was Terence Crawford before they pulled him over. They knew that. This is what we've been hearing. I want to play you something else. And I want to see if we can all get on the same page. Let me see if I can play this right here.
As well as what happened from his perspective. I don't know how much you can get into it. As I said before, I received a call basically I received a call just basically not to say what I want to say because it's currently being investigated. So you got lawyers involved. You have internal affairs involved. You have the mayor involved. You get what I'm saying? Because this is a high profile guy. So, when you got all that involved, you can just imagine. So this, politics is involved and stuff like that. And you get what I'm saying? So, I don't, it is what it is. But as a disclaimer, I'm going to read this again. As a disclaimer, I have been advised not to go into the full story, of what happened as it relates to Bud by a member of someone from his media team. Why? Because there's an ongoing legal investigation as we speak. The mayor, internal affairs, lawyers, and some powerful people are involved in this. However, guns were pulled on me as well. And I have to represent for myself in this situation. Because no one is representing me but me. And that's what.
Good representation is priceless. I always tell y'all that. I just wanted to say that. Quick question, why did I have y'all here? And we are talking about racism. Come on in. We have some late viewers that just came in. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. I'm not going to be animated tonight. Okay, I promise. Okay. Come on in. I'm going to give you some entertainment, though. That's because I know that's what you came here for. But I'm also going to give you some education. Okay? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Un momento. Fellas, y'all know how it is. No, I turned it on mute. I had to answer the phone. So look, right? I want to play something for y'all. Now we heard Blue Blood, right? Y'all heard Blue Blood, right? said the cops had it out for Terence Crawford. They was trying to set him up because they was trying to frame Terence Crawford and send a message to the black community. Right? Okay, listen, hey, J-Rock, I'm not going that bud. Why you think I'm going that bud? You just got here. You just came in the classroom late. And then you, come on, J-Rock. I know that's your guy. Hey, I'm just talking about what happened, brother. I'm just putting out the facts. That's all I'm doing. Come on in. I'm glad you're here, though. I want to play something for you guys and ladies. Any ladies here? I didn't see any ladies in the live chat. I know most of them probably watching me, but I don't see them in the chat. But anyway, check this out. I want to ask a question. Real quick. It's just a poll because we talking about racism, right? Real quick. If a white law enforcement officer uses the word nigger, is he a racist? Now, I know some of you are going to be surprised because I said that word live. But we're talking about racism. And listen, if you've ever joined my panel, right, you already know I don't allow that word on my platform. But because when we say that word, it gets sensationalized in the black community, I want to do a quick poll. Is either yes or no, real quick. And I want to go on to the paperwork in just a second. If a white law enforcement officer used the word nigger, is he a racist? It's just yes or no. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I'm getting somewhere with this. I'm just laying the foundation. Come on, y'all. We don't have a whole lot of time. I see 2 people that says yes. Okay. I'm just asking the question because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about racism, and that was the narrative that majority of content creators and others spoke on publicly. And they actually said that Terence Crawford was being set up. He was being targeted because these cops were racist. So I just want to get us all on the same page, okay? So I'm going to ask the question again. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. If a law enforcement officer, and I'm talking about a white one, a Caucasian one, if a white law enforcement officer used the word nigger, is he racist? It's just yes or no. I'm going somewhere with this, and I want to make sure that we are on the same page. I didn't say the cops that pulled Terence Crawford over used the word nigger. I'm just asking the question in general because I have a lot of African American or black people watching me right now. And I just want to make sure that we're on the same page as a community. If a white law enforcement officer used the word nigger, is he racist? It's just yes or no. All right. I just want to make sure we clear. So if a white law enforcement officer used the word nigger, he is a racist, according to what I'm seeing in my live chat. And if you're watching a replay of this live, I need for you to engage with me as well because I love seeing feedback. In the comment section below, you can answer this question. It's very important. Okay, can I get one like? I promise you. I don't ask for much. I promise you I don't. Can I get one like? Can the likes be congruent with the viewership? We have over 1,000 people here. Don't worry about who's not here. They'll be here soon. Don't worry about them. They'll be here. If you're watching a replay of the live, you can engage with me in the comments section. I'm going to ask the question again. I want to make sure we're on the same page. If a white law enforcement officer used the word nigger, is he racist? I'm only using that word just for tonight. Any other time, y'all know I don't use the word on my channel, and I don't allow others to use it. But for context purposes, I gotta use that word, okay? On my live right now. All right? Okay, so I'm hearing that a white law enforcement officer is a racist if he used the word nigger. Okay. I just wanted to see, because that's what I'm being told in the live chat. That's what I'm being told. Okay. Now the white cops that pulled over Terence Crawford, they didn't use the word nigger. But people kept on saying they were racist. I'm talking about YouTubers and people in interviews and people in my comments section and people in the live chat, right? And boxing fans, right? Yeah, they kept saying these cops, right? These police officers that pulled Terence Crawford over, they were white. They kept saying that they were racist. That's why I was trying, that's why I'm asking. Okay. Let me see if we can, I want to play something for you all. Hold on, let me see if this is it right here. This might be it.
Hip hop or whatever the case may be. When I see a motherfucker out there misrepresenting what really happened, and you talking about, well, he should have did this and this and that, this and that. I'm just coming out telling you right now. With that official police report where they said that he saw the gun on the bed and he decided to draw a gun, that's a goddamn lie. That cracker lied, and it's gonna come out because guess what? That car record everything. He got an electric car. That camera is recording inside of those electric cars. Hip hop, as well as what happened from his perspective. I don't know how much he can get into it. As I said before, literally. So miss me with that bullshit. And it could be a black officer as well. Because once the black officer put that uniform on, guess what? He has the mindset of the cracker. Literally. So miss me with that bullshit. And it could be a black officer as well. Because once the black officer put that uniform on, guess what? He has the mindset of the cracker. So miss me with that bullshit. And it...
That was Coach Malachi. Did y'all hear that?
What I am here to tell you today, without getting too far into it, is that what that officer officially said, the reason why he pulled this gun out, is not true. True. It's not true. That motherfucker told a bullface, that's a lie. That's a lie. And that's all I'm going to say on that. That's all.
Did y'all hear that? These are the things that Coach Malachi. I want to play that first one. I want to play that one again.
Hip hop or whatever the case may be. When I see a motherfucker out there misrepresenting what really happened, and you talking about, well, he should have did this and this and that, this and that. I'm just coming out telling you right now. With that official police report where they said that he saw the gun on the bed and he decided to draw a gun, that's a goddamn lie. That cracker lied, and it's gonna come out because guess what? That car record everything. He got an electric car. That camera is record.
He said that cracker lied. That's what he said. That's what Coach Malachi said. Let me see.
Literally.
Yeah.
So miss me with that bullshit. And it could be a black officer as well. Because once the black officer put that uniform on, guess what? He has the mindset of the cracker.
Did y'all hear that? So then now let me ask this question. If a black person called a white police officer a cracker, is he racist? Listen, don't get mad at me now. I'm just asking the question. I'm laying the foundation because we got to get to the paperwork in a minute. And the chief of police and the mayor's audio that I have. I'm just asking the question. I just don't... Listen, I wore my bow tie today. All right, I got the cufflinks, the match. Y'all see the purple in the cufflink? Huh? Can't tell me nothing. I'm out here looking like Barney. I'm out here looking like Barney with all this purple on. Huh? But I'm just asking. This is just a yes or no question. If a black person calls a white person or a white law enforcement officer a cracker, is he racist? No, I'm asking. It's just a question. It's just yes and... You know when I asked about the white cop or white law enforcement officer calling a black person a nigger, Yeah, I said it. Nigger, right? A lot of people was responding all fast. They said yes. So now I'm asking another question. Okay? Coach Malachi said when a black police officer put on the police officer's uniform, he automatically get the mindset of a cracker. Coach Malachi said that cracker lied. So I'm asking, if a black person calls a white person or a white law enforcement officer a cracker, is he a racist? I'm just asking. I have white people watching me right now. They might not want to answer, and that's okay. And some of them might. I have people from all walks of life, from all different countries, watching me right now, and they're going to watch the replay of the live. So I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Because I don't see a whole lot of people engaging in the live chat as quickly as you were when I used the term nigger. So I'm just asking. Now, if he's not racist, then fine. I'm just asking. I just want to know because I'm laying a foundation somewhere. Okay? We're going to get to the paperwork. I have the paperwork. I didn't call the police station to get it because that's going to be the next narrative possibly. I didn't investigate none of this. This is all public record based on the press release that the Omaha Police Department, the chief of police, with the approval of the mayor, put out to media outlets. I'm talking about the paperwork that I'm about to read, okay? All right. So basically, what I'm trying to get to is we can't have it both ways. I need the black community and the minority community here in America to hear me and hear me clearly. Just because you are a minority, I said this last Monday, and then I said it last Tuesday, and I'm going to say it again. Just because you are black, or if you identify as African American, or if you are if you are a minority, it doesn't give you the license to use racial slurs to others, including the word cracker to refer to white people. It's a racial slur. And we can't act like that's righteous because someone is black. Okay? If it's wrong for whites to use the word nigger, I'm going to say that word one more time because I ain't going to say it no more after tonight on this podcast. If it's not right for a white person to use the word nigger to refer to a black or African American person, it is not right equally for a black person to use the term cracker to refer to white people. Are we clear on that? I hope we are. Racism is not righteous no matter what your color is. I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that. Now, a lot of people was driving the narrative home because, like, the security officer has a nonprofit organization, right? And he has a black or pro-black agenda. That's a fact. We have to deal with that. Okay? Racism is wrong. Period. I don't stand for racism on any level. And I want to tell a content creator that's listening to me, and I want to make sure I take my glasses off to say this, because I want to hear myself say it when I say it. I'm giving myself the pass tonight to use the N-word. Okay? Look at me, content creator, whether you cool with me or not, whether you like me or not, whether you agree with me or not. I'm going to say the same thing I said last week. I'm going to say it right now again. If you use the word nigger on your platform referring to other black people, I do not want to hear your selective outrage. If you are a minority, including Hispanic, and you use the word nigger on your platform. I do not want to hear you be pro-black and pro-minority talking about racism when you're referring to black people using the word nigger, because you are a hypocrite. And if nobody else going to tell you, I will. Because I'm speaking the truth in love. I'm not mad at anyone. I'm just keeping it all the way 100. As they say in Philly, I'm keeping it $1. Always straight up and down. Don't I? Don't I always keep it real? Right? Okay then. I'm not mad at nobody. I'm not throwing no shots at anyone. I'm just keeping it all the way real. It's a public service announcement because these white cops had to endure the stigma of being called racist with no proof or evidence before all the facts came out. And we have to stand for justice. Okay? I'm not here to defend nothing but the truth. I'm not defending Bud. I'm not defending Malachi. I'm not defending the security officer. I'm not defending this young lady that was in the backseat of Terence Crawford's 2025 Lucid Sapphire. I'm not defending law enforcement. I'm defending the truth. Now, if you mad at me, you just mad at the truth. You're really not mad at me. I mean, how can you be mad at somebody wearing a purple bow tie? Come on, man. Now, let's move right along with the paperwork. Hey, Creole, what's up, big dog? Double salute to 2 Cents Boxing. She's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Rule to Tape film crew. Now, I'm going to read off the documentation because it's going to outline everything that happened before and during the traffic stop from the police officers that engaged with Terence Crawford, and obviously them allowing Terence Crawford to leave from their presence and basically go home. Before I give the paperwork, and by the way, I'm going to put the description of all of the audio from the chief of police and the mayor in this live. When it go off, you'll see it. I'm also going to put in the description, the link to the actual media outlet, right, who was given a press release with the timeline and the transcript of the body cam audio that I'm going to read off, okay? I just want to make sure we clear on that. I'm going to do that as soon as the live go off, put it in the description, because I want all of you to go fact check. All right? But these police officers, they were white, but they were given a jacket that didn't actually fit them because they were being called racist without any proof or evidence. People just ran with a narrative because we get so sensationalized, particularly in the black community, when we go by hearsay. And that narrative was reverberated and repeated all across social media. I'm not here to defend law enforcement. I'm defending the truth. I'm not here to defend any of the occupants that was in that car. I'm defending the truth. All right? I want to also, let's get the paperwork. I want to also read the paperwork out to you all. You're not going to find this information anywhere else. Before I do that, can I get one like though? May I get one like? We have right now almost over 2,000 people watching me live right now. It's a lot of pro-black, and there's nothing wrong with being pro-black, but you can't be pro-black and use the word nigger. Because one thing that I know, if you pro anything, you're anti something else. You're not going to find any other content creator that's going to break down the paperwork and play the audio from the mayor and the chief of police on Friday. You can't be pro-black and use the word nigger. I'm going to say it again because I know there's a lot of black and African American people watching me live right now. You can't be pro-black and use the word nigger when you're referring to black people. White people that's watching me, just because you hear me say the word nigger does not give you a license to say it. I just want to make sure that's also equally clear. Now, moving right along. Oh, I got to make another point. If you're pro something, you're anti something else. So if you pro-black, you're anti something else. And I hope that whatever you're anti has nothing to do with another race. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Nothing wrong with being pro-black. That's all I'm saying now. I love my people. But when we got to be held accountable, we just got to be held accountable. Okay? Now somebody's criticizing me because I'm wearing purple. What's wrong? I'm pro-truth, me personally. And I'm anti-false narratives. I'm pro-truth, so I'm anti-lies. We have to speak the truth in love. You're not going to find this anywhere else. If I didn't like Bud Crawford, Mr. Band Up, and salute the Band Up. If I was anti-Bud, I wouldn't be talking about him. I don't eat Brussels sprouts. I don't like them. And if I don't like Brussels sprouts, when I go to the restaurant, I'm not going to order it. If I don't like somebody, I'm not going to talk to you, and I'm not going to talk about you because I don't like you. But y'all criticize me, a lot of you, for saying I got a lot of videos on Bud Crawford. Well, apparently, I don't have a problem with Bud Crawford. But if Bud Crawford does something that needs to be addressed, I'm going to speak on it like I do everybody else. I had someone in my comment section that said when Deontay Wilder had legal issues, I didn't speak on it. That's a lie. I did speak on it. Remember Deontay Wilder got caught with that gun in his car, crossing state lines? Go check the videos on my platform. When this go off, don't do it now. Don't do it now. I'm on my purple rain right now. But when the live go off, go look. When Devin Haney got caught with that gun in his car, y'all remember that? I spoke on that. Y'all remember that? When Tank Davis got arrested, I spoke on that. Not once, but twice. Some of you probably wasn't here, so y'all don't remember that. And that's okay, but just fact check me. Terence Crawford's not the only boxer I spoke on that had legal issues. If it's newsworthy, I spoke on it. And I always speak on it from the same perspective. And that perspective remains the same even in this situation. That it hurts the brand and the business of the fighter. Okay? Now, Band Up is here. Now, Band Up, I don't want to put you on the spot, but since you're making live comments, brother, I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor. When I finish reading the paperwork, Band Up, and when I finish playing the audio from the press conference of the chief of police, Omaha Police Department, and the mayor that backed his play, I want you to do me a favor, Band Up, because I know Blueberry. That's not right. I'm wearing a suit tonight. Be humble. I meant Blue Balls. Oh, that's not right either. We have women here, Marty. I meant to say Blue Blood. Yo, man, I want you to go back in his live chat and tell him that he was wrong for saying that these cops were racist and they had it out for Terence Crawford, trying to set him up to kill him to send a message to the black community. I just want to make sure, Band Up, if you can be able to do that, I'd greatly appreciate it, all right? Now, if you need me to play the audio, Band Up, I will do that. BBO, what's going on, big brother? And I'm saying big brother not because he is my big brother, because he is a big brother. I wore the bow tie for you, BBO. So you know what type of time I'm on, my brother. Now, Band Up, if you need me to play the audio of Blue Blood saying that, I will. I will play that because I want you to know when we finish addressing the facts, everybody that ran with the narrative that the cops were racist, I want you to go on your platforms. I don't know all of you. I don't know who you are, but y'all know who you are. Go on your platforms and clear the names of these white officers. If they racist, you got to hold them accountable, just like I will. But if the police and the internal affairs now put out information proving that these cops were not racist and that they did everything according to policy and procedure, y'all going to have to clear the white cops. Can y'all do that with integrity, please? I'm not here to defend the cops, BBO. I'm not here to defend law enforcement. I'm not here to defend Terence Crawford and the occupants in his car. I'm only here to defend the truth. All right? Let's read the paperwork. I'm going to put the description in the chat. All right? Not in the chat, really, in the of the video. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. What's up, Victor? The real Victor. Gabe, what up, Gabe? They hating on the purple tonight, Victor. I'm out here looking like Barney, man. They got me in that purple looking like I'm about to do communion at a church. Okay, now, let's get to the paperwork. You're not going to find this anywhere else. People still sleeping on this whole narrative that these cops were racist, and that's okay. We're going to deal with it. Okay? Going to get the paperwork out. All right, I'm going to read the paperwork. This is the media press release from the Omaha Police Department. It's going to outline the timeline of everything that occurred leading up to the traffic stop of Terence Crawford. And also, there's a transcript included of the audio and verbal exchange between the driver, Terence Bud Crawford, and the police officer that was engaging with Terence Crawford. I'm gonna read the paperwork, and then we're gonna go to the audio. Okay? Now, let me show everybody so we can. I want to show everybody to make sure that we clear. All right, this is the paperwork. All right, this is the timeline. I'm gonna read all the timeline. This is the timeline from the investigative video analysis from the body cam footage. Here's the timeline. Y'all see the times right here? Don't worry, we're going to get to that. I want to make sure people know I didn't search for this. I didn't call the police department and get this. This is public record. Okay? Now, the Omaha Police Department has made significant progress in the internal affairs investigation regarding the traffic stop involving Terence Bud Crawford on Sunday, September 28, 2025. The officers involved have provided statements, but police have not been able to interview the 4 occupants of the car yet. 3 of the 4 occupants have been offered opportunities to interview in person or by phone. The 4th occupant has not been identified. I wonder why none of them wanted to cooperate with internal affairs. I know they said Terence Crawford is out of the country, but the other 3 occupants, including Coach Malachi, aka Herb Williams, and I'm only calling him Herb Williams because the security officer put that on his Facebook or social media. He put on his social media, he put Malachi's name out there. He said Herb Williams. None of them cooperated with the investigation to be interviewed by phone or in person. Okay. All available camera footage has been reviewed, which has assisted the Internal Affairs Unit in conducting the investigation and compiling the below timeline of events. Double salute to my home girl, Miss Barbara D. She's a member of the channel and supervisor of the Roll to Tape film crew. Hey, Barbara D. The investigation remains ongoing, and Mr. Crawford specifically has not yet been interviewed due to travel. He has been offered the option to participate in an interview by phone. In accordance with past practice and legal considerations. Video related to this incident will not be released. The video is investigatory in nature and may be required for court proceedings. The Omaha Police Department also seeks to respect Mr. Crawford's privacy during this process. The two officers involved in this incident are Officer Mason Gregorich and Officer James Valencia. Officer Gregorich has been with the department for nearly 6 years. Officer Valencia has been with the department for 2 years. This is the timeline from investigative video analysis. You see it here. We're going to go to the video analysis through the timeline. Somebody told me to check my Cash App. Hold on one second. Let's check the Cash App now. We have to warm up the air fryer tonight. Let's check the Cash App. Right on. Yeah, I see you. Tracy, appreciate you, Tracy Mason. Thank you for dropping that in the Cash App. I appreciate you, sweetheart. We have ladies here watching all around the world. Hey, Tracy, let me ask you something, Tracy, because a lot of people was throwing all these shots at me for wearing purple and wearing a bow tie. And they said, you know, some people were saying they don't like it. I look corny. I look like Barney. You know, they was just throwing shots at me like earlier before you came, Tracy. And since you were a lady, I figured I'd get your opinion. What you think, Tracy? You like the bow tie? Everything cool, Tracy? Yeah, a lot of these guys was hating. Tracy, you like the bow tie and everything? How I put it together? Everything cool? Thank you, Miss Barbara D. See, the ladies even say I look good. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Tracy. Shout out to the ladies. Double salute to all the ladies here. I'm going to put my R&B voice on as soon as I've done the paperwork, okay, ladies? You know I'm always going to acknowledge y'all. Let's get back to the paperwork. Thank you again, Tracy. Now, I'm going to go by the timeline. I'm going to show people on the screen so people won't think I'm hating. All I'm doing is just putting out the right information. It was a lot of misinformation that was going on for a week. Here it is. All right, now, this is the timeline from investigative video analysis. 1:27 a.m. A 2025 Lucid Sapphire is seen exiting the Stillhouse Omaha parking garage onto North 12th Street, heading north, accelerating past officers posted at North 12th and Davenport Streets to monitor the area as bars were closing. The officers involved were in a marked Omaha Police black and white cruiser along with other marked cruisers in the area. Double salute to my guy, Victor. He's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Road to Take film crew. Victor, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. Always, Victor. Appreciate you. In the super chat, Victor says, manager, I appreciate your class and taste in fashion style. 100. Thank you, Victor. See, just because a man compliment another man doesn't mean there's something homo about it. So Victor don't have to say pause, right? Thank you for the compliment, Victor. I appreciate that, big dog. That's why I rock with you, because you always keep it 100. So now that we got that certified and solidified, right? That's what happened at 1:27 in the morning. Terence Crawford was speeding past law enforcement, and we're going to hear the audio of the chief of police that's going to tell us the miles per hour that Terence Crawford was actually speeding at in the actual area that had a speed limit posted. All right. When I finished reading the paperwork, double salute to my guy. He's a day one supporter. He was here when I only had like 20 subscribers. Aaron Muhammad in the chat. Thank you, my brother, for airing up the air fryer and heating it up too. Thank you for the super chat and your support, Aaron. Aaron says this, Manager Marty, I appreciate your implementing fairness in your analysis of this situation. However, there is a lot of education on the institution of racism versus the use of the word racism. Thank you for clarifying that up, Aaron Muhammad. And I have to say that I agree with you totally on the fact that there is a lot of information and the institution and the origin of racism compared to the use of the word racism. I do agree. And I appreciate you, in all fairness, Aaron, for actually acknowledging the fact that I'm being fair in my analysis. Because here's the truth, y'all. If the cop was black and he pulled over a white boxer, let's say Caleb Plant, right? And everyone was calling the black police officer a racist against Caleb Plant, I would be saying the same exact thing. On the flip side of that coin, right? If the white police officer were racist and they violated protocol and they violated practices and procedures of the Omaha Police Department to arrest, detain, or even charge or incriminate or physically threaten or harm Terence Crawford or any of the 3 other occupants in that vehicle, I would speak up right now and hold them accountable. But unfortunately, we're not operating off of hypotheticals tonight. We're dealing with the facts. And the facts is what I'm reading based on what was analyzed through the body cam footage and the dash cam of the cruiser. And this is all from the internal affairs. Thank you again, Aaron, for that. Appreciate you, big dog. All right, moving right along. 1:27:47 a.m. Officer Gregorich pulls onto 12th Street to get behind the Lucid Sapphire to initiate a traffic stop. At 1:28:09 a.m., the officer stopped the car at North 12th and Cass Streets with emergency lights activated. At 1:28:27 a.m., Officer Valencia approaches the passenger side of the car. At 1:28:31 a.m., Officer Gregorich approaches the driver's side of the car. At 1:28:34 a.m., which is 3 seconds later, Officer Valencia makes contact with the front passenger while Officer Gregorich continues approaching. And we know that the front passenger is the security officer, chief of the security officer, right? Okay. At 1:28:40 a.m., Officer Gregorich contacts the driver. I'm reading this verbatim. This is from the body cam footage based on the timeline of the video, body cam, and audio. Okay, this was a video analysis that was conducted thoroughly by the Internal Affairs Unit. The driver immediately told Officer Gregorich, these are the words that they're quoting from Terence Crawford, and I quote, "This mother effer is fast," referring to the vehicle that he was driving. Officer Gregorich responds by stating, and I quote, "I understand that, but that is so unsafe." To which the driver states, and I quote, "My bad." That was the engagement between Terence Crawford and Officer Gregorich when he pulled Terence Crawford over. So it sounds like Terence Crawford was saying that the car that he was driving was fast. He said this mother effer is fast, referring to the car. And the cop said, "I understand that, but it's so unsafe." And Terence Crawford admittedly said, "My bad." I told y'all last week, and I'm going to tell you again. I heard these words myself. 20, carry the 1, then minus that, put the 2, 20 years ago. They said, "Mr. Brown, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of law. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you by the courts. Do you understand your rights?" That's what they were saying when they put the handcuffs on me. I'm talking about law enforcement. I said 20 years ago. And I still remember that to this day. So when you make any public statement or private statement to law enforcement, just know they can use that and will use that against you in a court of law. So when Terence Crawford said, "My bad," he may not realize that's what he was doing, right? He basically was admitting to speeding. Okay? Let's move right along. At 1:28:50 a.m., Officer Gregorich requests a driver's license, registration, and insurance from the driver. The driver responds, and I quote, "I ain't got it." And he begins searching his pockets and his center console. At 1:28:52 a.m., Officer Gregorich takes out a flashlight in his right hand and shines the light inside the car. At 1:28:54 a.m., 2 seconds later, Officer Gregorich switches the flashlight to his left hand when the front seat passenger, talking about the security officer, is heard via body-worn camera stating that he has a firearm on his hip to Officer Valencia out of the passenger side window. Okay? All right. 1:28:55 a.m. The driver, Terence Crawford, states, and I quote, "I got my firearm." But he continues facing Officer Valencia on the passenger side while looking around the center console area. 1:28:56 a.m. Officer Gregorich reacts as he looks inside the car and he draws his service weapon. Officer Gregorich observed a handgun on the floorboard, partially covered by the floor mat at Mr. Crawford's feet. Mr. Crawford was leaning and reaching towards the center console armrest storage area at this exact moment. The handgun is observed 1 second after Mr. Crawford announced in the direction of Officer Valencia that he had his firearm, and 2 seconds after the front seat passenger had informed Officer Valencia that he was armed out of the passenger window. Officer Gregorich stated during his interview that he did not hear Mr. Crawford or the front seat passenger announce they had firearms, as he was using his flashlight to illuminate the inside of the car while positioned outside the driver's side door. His body-worn camera footage from the night of the incident corroborates this statement. This, what I'm reading, for all of you that just joined me, this is what I'm reading, is the actual video analysis from the actual webcam, audio and video, worn by both police officers and the dash cam on the police cruiser. This is from the Internal Affairs Unit. This was given to all members of the media through a media press release. And the mayor approved this. And so did the chief of police. This is given a timeline. I want you to know I'm not making this up. I'm not reading this to sit up there and say that Terence Crawford is a bad person. I'm just trying to dispel all of the myths and the narratives that was out so we all can know the truth. All right? Good. He further stated that in his training and experience as an officer with persons and concealed weapons, firearms are not normally on the floor of a vehicle and instead holstered or in the center console or another secured area. Officer Gregorich stated this was a red flag for him, so he drew his service weapon to safely remove all parties away from the firearm and perceived possible threat and to investigate further. 1:28:57 a.m. Officer Gregorich points his firearm at the driver and repeatedly, over and over, tells him to exit the car. 1:29:32 a.m. The driver is handcuffed outside the car by Officer Valencia. 1:29:32 a.m. The driver is, I said that already. Sorry, 1:29:47 a.m. Officer Gregorich reports a firearm on the car floorboard via his radio. 1:29:54 a.m. 1:29:54 a.m. The driver is escorted behind the car and in front of the police cruiser by Officer Valencia. 1:32:12 a.m. All occupants are secured outside the car. Officer Gregorich requests identification from Terence Crawford, the driver, again. The driver refuses to speak with the officer and requests a supervisor to respond to the scene. 1:32:52 a.m. Hey, Nikki Love. The front seat passenger, Mr. Crawford's chief of security, and Officer Gregorich discussed recognizing Mr. Crawford. At this point, Officer Gregorich realizes the driver of the car he stopped was Terence Crawford. So let's be clear on something. Terence Crawford did not produce or have his driver's license, proof of insurance, or registration. And Terence Crawford did not want to give his name to identify himself when he was handcuffed outside of the car, according to what I just read. So the cop, Officer Gregorich, did not know it was Terence Crawford. And the chief of police is going to give another piece of evidence in the audio I'm about to play to prove they didn't know it was Terence Crawford before they actually pulled him over. But the point that I'm making is, here on the body cam, video and audio, it states that the chief of security of Terence Crawford, who was sitting in the passenger seat, he's the one that told Officer Gregorich who Terence Crawford was. And that's when the police officer recognized he is Terence Crawford, the one who got the key to the city. They have, after that, is more? Is there more? Yes, there is more. Officer Gregorich's direct contact with Mr. Crawford lasted only 1 minute and 14 seconds of the total timeline from the time the car was stopped to Mr. Crawford being handcuffed and then being moved to the rear of the car. Mr. Crawford did not provide any means of identification, verbal or physical. Most of this time, Mr. Crawford was turned away from Officer Gregorich, attempting to retrieve documentation. Now, in this next part, it says up here, reason for traffic stop. You see that? We almost done with the paperwork. Then I'm going to play the audio. The reason for the traffic stop. There has been considerable conversation around the probable cause surrounding the traffic stop and why it was conducted. The 2025 Lucid Sapphire that Terence Crawford was driving was being driven at a high rate of speed, well in excess of the posted 25 miles per hour speed limit. It was straddling the lane divider between the northbound lanes, while multiple pedestrians were walking on the sidewalks and crossing the street in a popular entertainment district after multiple large events throughout the day. Mr. Crawford's car did not have license plates. I'm going to show the people this because people kept saying they know who Terence Crawford was before they pulled him over. Here it is. It states right here in the asterisk. You see it? Mr. Crawford's car did not have license plates. Okay? So Terence Crawford did not have license plates on his car. Terence Crawford did not have or provide his driver's license. He did not have or provide proof of insurance. He did not have or provide proof of his registration of the vehicle and he was speeding in a 25 miles per hour zone. Okay? He had a loaded firearm on the floor panel of the vehicle halfway underneath the mat of his car. These are all the facts right now. All right? Additional note, there is rumor that Mr. Crawford and his chief of security were under the influence of alcohol at the time of the traffic stop. That is not accurate. Both men and the other two occupants were calm and they followed the officer's directions to exit the car, and they assisted in making the situation safe for all involved. This is from the Internal Affairs Unit's investigation. So Terence Crawford and his chief of security, they were not under the influence of drugs or alcohol. So anybody that brought that up and said that's why Bud was speeding or whatever the case might have been, that is not true. They clarified that as well. In the summation, it says summation right here. Summation. We're almost done. We're going to get to the audio real quick. Officers observed a car traveling at a high rate of speed in a densely populated entertainment district with heavy pedestrian traffic. They conducted a traffic stop with that car. There was no way the officers could have known the driver was Mr. Crawford, as it was dark and the car had no license plates. Mr. Crawford admitted on camera that the car was fast and he implied it got away from him. The officer observed a firearm in an unusual place while being transported by vehicle and did not hear the announcement of firearms inside the car by the occupants. The occupants were ordered out of the car by officers at gunpoint. Mr. Crawford and other occupants complied with all commands by the officers, assisting with making the situation safe. The officer who made contact with the driver did not know who the driver was until Mr. Crawford was removed from the car, and the officer later was able to speak to the other passengers and again see Mr. Crawford. It has been determined the officers acted within departmental policy. However, the department accepts accountability and will implement measures to de-escalate this situation in the future when there are operators or drivers who have registered firearms. I'm going to put this description in this chat, in this live when this goes off. That was all the timeline of the paperwork that was read just now. Only 1 minute and 4 seconds of a conversation that was had between Officer Gregorich and Terence Crawford. Now we're going to get to the audio. Do we have any questions real quick? I want to make sure we're clear now because there's a lot of misinformation that was going out on social media about this, okay? All right? Got to tell a whole story when you tell a story. You can't say that the cops were racist when you have no proof. You just can't do it. Now, if the cops are racist, and we see that, we got to address that too now. But in this situation, it seems like Terence Crawford wasn't dealing with racist cops. I mean, the last time I checked, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, anytime you driving in a car that have no license plates, usually the cops will have you exit that vehicle and you will not be able to re-enter that vehicle, to operate that vehicle, to move that vehicle with no license plates on it. And if you don't provide your license, proof of identification, registration, or proof of insurance, they're going to take the car and you won't be able to operate the car either. So in what I see in my analysis, based on what I read and what we're about to hear, it seems like they didn't even tow the car. They allowed Terence Crawford to get right back in the car with no driver's license being showed, no proof of insurance being showed, no proof of registration being showed, no license plate, and just gave him a ticket. I mean, the car was brand new. It was 2025 Lucid Sapphire. It's over $100,000 vehicle. But they let him go. And you have a gun in an unfamiliar place that aroused the suspicions of officers underneath a mat when you have basically legal right to carry the firearm in the center console glove compartment on your hip. You place it underneath a mat. That raised red flags for law enforcement, and that's why they drew their service weapon and ordered everybody out the vehicle. I mean, that's what the Internal Affairs Unit report states. Because if this was anybody else that possibly was black and didn't have money and didn't have celebrity status, it probably wouldn't have ended this way. And I'm not saying the cops would have shot anyone. That's not what I'm implying. What I'm really saying is most people on the roadway, especially at 1:30 in the morning, when you're dead wrong for speeding and you have no license plate and you have no proof of identification and you have no proof that this gun is even registered to you, and you're not giving me your driver's license, not giving me your registration, not giving me proof of insurance, nor are you telling me verbally your name for me to identify and confirm your identity as a police officer, you're not getting this car about to get towed. And we're going to confiscate your firearm until we prove that it was yours. And you have a legal right to carry it. I mean, that's usually how, I mean, I'm not a law enforcement expert, but it just seemed like that's usually what happens. I guess celebrity does have its privileges. And there's nothing wrong with being a celebrity having a privilege. But at least they were able to come to grips with the fact that Terence Crawford on body cam says, my bad, he admitted to speeding. He admitted that he had a gun. On a 20-second clip that the young lady in the backseat posted, we heard Terence Crawford himself say, I got my hands up, I'm not reaching for the gun. Well, if the gun wasn't exposed, why would you say that? So all of these signs are leading to Terence Crawford being just a little bit irresponsible. Let's go with the audio and let's hear what the chief of police and the mayor had to say right before they released this press release paperwork and how they broke it down and they actually had questions from the media being asked to them as well, and they did answer it. Let's get right to that real quick. All right, here we go.
Recognize, put in place the proper policies and.
All right, so let me set the scene. I'm gonna put the link in the description so when y'all click on it, right, y'all be able to see the full video in its entirety. All right, this is the press conference, public press conference on Friday that just passed, right before Omaha Police Department, with the approval of the mayor, right before they actually sent out the documents you just heard me read through a press release to the media. They had a press conference. The mayor was sitting right next to the chief of police. The mayor is black. You see him here? That is the mayor right there in the gray suit. He is black. He is the mayor. And that is the chief of police. That's Mayor Ewing, excuse me. And the chief police name is, they don't have it in the title, but it just say chief of police and Mayor Ewing. I'm gonna show y'all again so y'all know that when y'all hear the chief of police talk, he's not making these words up. Everything is approved by the man who signs the check of the chief of police, the commissioner of the police force, and every single police officer and law enforcement officer representing the city of Omaha, the mayor. He signs their checks. There's the mayor right there, and that's the chief of the police. in Omaha. All right?
Procedures. So I just wanted to share that vote of confidence so that the people of this community know we've got the best people to be able to help us move forward. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to say good morning to all the media in the room as well, and then good morning to anybody who might be listening live. We understand the importance of this traffic stop to our community and the implications and the impression that it has given out, and we understand the pain that those in the vehicle have gone through. Yeah. That is why the internal affairs investigation, as it sits today, there are still a few things that we would like to accomplish with it, but as it sits today, focused on 3 areas. First area was Mr. Crawford targeted on any level because he was Mr. Crawford? The investigation showed unequivocally that answer would be no. There was no way of knowing that he was the driver of that vehicle as it sped by those police cruisers.
So did y'all hear that? I just want to make sure we're clear on that. Did y'all hear the chief of police, with the approval of the black mayor, that watched the full body cam footage and audio? The question was Terence Crawford targeted by Omaha police? The chief of police said no. There's no way that the police officers knew who Terence Crawford was as they were sitting in their cruiser, just monitoring the area, because that's what they're assigned to do in that area. They didn't know that was Terence Crawford when he sped past them real fast. And of course, when they got behind him to perform the traffic stop, we know now that there was no license plate on that car that Terence Crawford was operating. Okay?
The second area that we focused on was Terence Crawford treated poorly on any level because he's Terence Crawford during the course of the traffic stop. And we did not find that to be in the play at all. In fact, you'll see from the notes and the press release that we give out, the driver officer did not even know it was Terence Crawford until he got him out of the car and had to be told.
Did y'all hear that? This is the same thing that I just read in the Internal Affairs Unit investigative report. All right, just want to make sure that's the second thing that we clarified.
Third area, press release that we give out, the driver officer did not even know it was Terence Crawford until he got him out of the car and had to be told. The third area was an evaluation of our policies and procedures. Did the officer follow our policies and procedures as they had their weapons out and 4 people out of the vehicle? At this point in time, I have determined that it is within policy. Officers do have the right to control a scene in which firearms are present. With that being said, there are some accountability items that I would like to go through with the Omaha Police Department and for everybody here today that we're going to try to cover, because I'm seeing way too many stops involving firearms as it relates to legal firearms under LB 77.
All right. So the chief of police did confirm that the police officers acted within departmental policy when they drew their service weapons. That's what we were just told, okay?
So we know exactly when Mr. Crawford's vehicle pulled out of the garage. We know exactly the route that it took. We know all of that. And in addition, cruiser camera. The 2 officers were just sitting there when the car sped by. It was a single vehicle speeding by. There was no traffic at the time. And we have all the video from when they initiated that stop. So there is no portion of this that isn't covered by video and audio. We are available for your questions at this time.
Chief, why is the video not being released to the public?
The vehicle's not being released to the public.
The video, I'm sorry.
Oh, the video? Well, first of all, it is considered an investigative report, so our legal department does advise us not to. However, there are times when we can make that release. And this this period of time. We're not going to do it at this juncture because we're not looking to destroy the privacy of Mr. Crawford. We'd like for him to have a say in that particular matter. Right now, he's in Saudi Arabia and really has been kind of out of touch with us. So we would never want to do anything like release a video with a car speeding by and have that play out all over the world's media without his consent.
They still had enough respect for Terence Crawford. They could just release the video, but he's out of the country. He's not cooperating with them by giving them an interview. And so he basically said, we can just release the body cam footage and all those things, but because it's in the investigatory stage, and also the fact that he was respecting the privacy of Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford didn't give them consent. Now, normally, law enforcement don't need a victim or a suspect's permission to release body cam footage. But because I guess they have a high regard for Terence Crawford, he is a pillar of the community, okay? He obviously just received the key to the city the second time. They are giving him an opportunity to say whether he wants the video to be released or not. That sounds like a great deal of respect. Once again, celebrity may have its privileges, and we can't get mad at that. That's what's up. But it's up to Terence Crawford, you know, partly up to him. If he wants to, you know, give them, I guess, consent to release the body cam footage. And since he's out of the country, they didn't want to do a sneak attack and just post that because they know Terence Crawford was wrong. And all of that will show that on the body cam footage. And they didn't want to embarrass the man like that. So shout out to the Omaha Police Department for keeping it real and also basically allowing Terence Crawford to have a say in the matter. So we got to give him credit for that.
And then also, this is a traffic stop. No one was hurt, traumatized, we get, and it's very important to us. But we don't have a fatality here. We don't have an officer-involved shooting, and it's generally not our protocol to release that footage under those circumstances.
Who was the car registered to?
The car, I'm not sure who it was registered to. The car didn't have any plates. Normally, when officers pull over a car, they run the plates and they can see who the owner is. They did not have the luxury of that on this occasion, or that might have been helpful to us at that time. It's a new car. It's everything is legal about the car. Matter of fact, everything was legal about the firearms in the car. And Mr. Crawford and the passengers carried themselves very professionally throughout this encounter.
The two officers, did they work North Omaha, or what part of what precinct?
So both officers work out of the Southeast Precinct. However, Southeast Precinct covers the Capital District. So they were down there working at that time of night. An event at the Steel House had just gotten out. But in addition, we have an all officers look for speeding and address speeding in that area because we've had 2 fatality accidents of a high profile nature in relative recent history. That's a problem, speeding in a populated area. So they're also there to address that as well.
So the officers were assigned to be stationed there to govern the traffic law of not speeding. That's what he said. For motorists to not speed in that general district area, because there's a lot of pedestrians over there. And he also claimed that I don't know if this is true. I'm just going by what y'all just heard him. But there were 2 fatalities in that area in relative recent history for obviously the cause of speeding. So that's what he said.
And they would have no knowledge, and matter of fact, were shocked to find out that this was Terence Crawford. Now, I will say this. The passenger officer, the one who went up on the passenger side, he got to the window first. He did have a conversation with Mr. Crawford's chief of security, and he did recognize it was Mr. Crawford. But the driver officer never did. And it wasn't communicated to him by anybody in the car or the other officer.
Did they tell the officers that they had legal weapons in the car?
So both occupants in the front seat, Mr. Crawford and his chief of security, did say that they had a firearm. The passenger, his chief of security, he said it to the passenger officer. So that audible wasn't heard by the driver officer, the one on the driver's side. And as Mr. Crawford was saying it, He was leaned over the console as he was looking for some of his items, leaning over the console when he said it. And he said it nearly simultaneously as the other passenger did. So the officer did not hear either of those, the driver officer. And so therein lies a lot of the confusion.
That's what was in the officer's report match up with what you saw on video, both body cam, and because there were reports that they were stopped from reckless driving and that the gun was found at the feet, I believe, of Mr. Crawford. Does that match up with the investigation?
The officer's interviews, audio recorded, video recorded interviews, and internal affairs matched up with everything that we saw on body-worn camera to down to the last second, basically. So everything did match up. The firearm on the passenger was on his hip, legally carried. The firearm in Mr. Crawford's feet was half under the floorboard and then half sticking out. And then the Officer Grigorich, who was the officer at that window, he mentioned it in his internal affairs interview when he saw that raised some suspicion to him. He didn't know why a gun would be transported that way, and that got his attention to pull his weapon out and just bring everybody out of the vehicle so that they can conduct the matter safely while everybody's away from the car. It was that unsecured firearm on the floorboard that really got his attention.
How many guns in the car?
There were two.
Chief, you've worked hard during your career as chief to have good relations across the city and especially in North Omaha. Mm-hmm. Do you see this damaging that or setting it back at all for you and for the community? Sure,
and that's why we're here today, because we recognize that there was a lot of misinformation out about this. I hope when everybody hears that Mr. Crawford was not targeted, that helps with this healing process. But of course it does. And in fact, the Omaha Police Department supports Terence Crawford and his security team, who we work closely with as they represent Omaha on the world stage. So, absolutely, we were hurt by this like anybody else. This is not a situation that anybody wanted to find themselves in, and including the officers on this particular stop.
Is building that trust going to be difficult and take time?
It's going to take time, but that's what we do, and that's what I'm willing to do. And we do have a foundation, we do have connections, and we have been laying the groundwork this entire week. And we will continue to do so because Omaha is where it is right now, with its lowest number of shootings and homicides and crime rate being as low as it is because of our community partnerships. I've been very steadfast on that from the day I took over, and that will not change. That will always be a priority of the Omaha Police Department.
You want this?
Base of the state. We're the one doing the most traffic stops. And because of that, we sequentially bear the burden of that extra inherent danger.
Chief, can you say how long Mr. Crawford and the others in the car were detained in that stop?
I can, Chief, do you know right off the bat? How long were they there from start to finish?
Roughly 30 minutes from start to finish.
So they were detained for 30 minutes.
Okay.
So they weren't in handcuffs for all those 30 minutes. I think that was about 10 minutes. But everything didn't conclude for about 30 minutes.
Can you, maybe a couple questions here, but can you kind of give the reason why Crawford and the passengers are handcuffed and how handcuffing fits into his kind of standard operating procedures?
Sure, just so everybody might have heard that question, make sure you did. The question was asking me to explain why the passenger front and Mr. Crawford were pulled out of the vehicle and placed in handcuffs while the rest of the investigation took place. They were taken because they were the ones with the firearms, so we secure the firearms. They're put in handcuffs while they can do their investigation, do all the checks, make sure everything is legal. And because there's firearms there, it was prudent to secure them while that was going. Now, clearly in retrospect, his chief of security and Mr. Crawford in particular did not pose any danger to the Omaha police officers, but they did not know that at the time. That's what we're evaluating. They did not know that at the time until Mr. Crawford got out of the car. The driver officer who was interacting with him did not know who he was. In fact, it's pretty clear on body camera. He only found out who it was when everybody was out of the car and Mr. Crawford's chief of security said, "Hey, that's Terence Crawford." And at that point, the officer recognized it, and you could tell that he recognized it at that point.
So all 4 people in the car were taken out of the car?
Yes.
So just the 2 were handcuffed?
I believe just the 2 were handcuffed. All 4 were handcuffed.
All right. So, double salute to my friend, my guy. He calls me Smarty Brown in the chat. That's my guy, Kev Lewis. What's up, Kev? Me and Kev go a long way back. And Kev is my guy. We go a long way back. Double salute to my guy, Coach Kev. And also, BBO, thank you for the compliment on the suit, man. Yes, Tracy, I'm going to repeat. Tracy's asking me, can I repeat why they're not showing the entire video at this time? Give me 1 second. I'm going to rewind it. Tracy, hold on. I think I found it, Tracy. I think. What up, Coach Kev? That's my guy right there, man. My man, Coach Kev. You know I am. You know I'm going to stay on top of it, Kev. All right, here. I think this is it right here, Tracy.
Chief, why is the video not being released to the public?
The vehicle's not being released to the public.
Video, I'm sorry.
Oh, the video? Well, first of all, it is considered an investigative report, so our legal department does advise us not to. However, there are times when we can make that release. And this period of time, we're not going to do it at this juncture because we're not looking to destroy the privacy of Mr. Crawford. We'd like for him to have a say in that particular matter. Right now, he's in Saudi Arabia and really has been kind of out of touch with us. So we would never want to do anything like release a video with a car speeding by and have that play out all over the world's media without his consent. And then also, this is a traffic stop. No one was hurt, traumatized, we get, and it's very important to us. But we don't have a fatality here. We don't have an officer-involved shooting, and it's generally not our protocol to release that footage under those circumstances.
So there you have it. That was the reasons that the chief of police gave, that there was no fatality, there was no police-involved shooting. They typically won't release the footage in any of those circumstances. Also, they were advised not to release it from legal representation, according to what he said in the beginning, and also to respect the privacy. You know what I mean? To respect the privacy of Terence Crawford. You know, because, you know, Terence Crawford's out of the country, and he also said that, you know, he don't want to put that video out and the fans and people in Omaha see Terence Crawford speeding in a 25-mile-per-hour zone, going at 60 to 70 miles per hour, and then getting pulled over. You know, but they're showing the man a lot of respect, even on a crime scene. And I'm calling it a crime scene. That may not be the word. I'm not a law enforcement person, but I guess the scene of where they pulled him over at. Right? He was speeding. They pulled him over. He didn't have a license plate on the car. He did not give any identification, whether it be his driver's license, proof of insurance, and or his registration to his car. He didn't have it. He said he don't have it. He was trying to look for it, but he realized he don't have it. He had a gun being exposed, not on his hip, not in the glove compartment, not in the center console, but it was basically tucked under a mat, and half of it was sticking out, which alarmed the officers, And Terence Crawford did comply with the officer's demands, just like Coach Malachi, a.k.a. Herb Williams, and the other security officer and the young lady who still have not been identified. They all got out the car. The cop gave Terence Crawford an opportunity to give up his name verbally to identify himself. Terence Crawford did not do that, but he did request for a supervisor. You know, we call them white shirts in Philly. So the white shirts did eventually, I guess, come on the scene. They were detained for 30 minutes, all of them, a total of 30 minutes, but they were put in handcuffs for only 10 minutes. What else we found out in the paperwork and in this audio report? The police officers, they actually did everything according to the policy and procedures of the police department, and they did not violate anything. Now, some of us can say, well, that the cop on the driver's side talking to Bud, he kind of took it a little bit too far by putting the flashlight just to see, what Terence Crawford was searching for, in the center console and all that, or, pointing the gun out, all of that. But the bottom line is, I'm doing this video, this live, and we're about to go home, because I want to use it as a teachable moment for all of us when we're in the presence of law enforcement. And this is for all of us, whether you are a minority or not, particularly minorities. Okay? That's why I'm wearing my bow tie tonight. But in all seriousness, when you're in the presence of law enforcement, especially in a confined space like a motor vehicle, please keep your hand on the steering wheel. Okay? Already have your license, proof of insurance, and registration out to give to the officer. If you are licensed to carry a firearm legally, please inform law enforcement and tell them exactly where it is. Don't just say, I'm licensed to carry a firearm and I got it in here. They might draw on you and take it a little bit too far, right? Why not just say, look, officer, I'm legally allowed to carry a firearm. I have a license to carry a concealed firearm. My firearm is concealed. It's on my hip. It is concealed. It's in the glove compartment. It is concealed. It's on the side door. It is concealed. It's in the center console. Very simple. If you were speeding, don't say, my bad. You're on body cam footage. So even if you wanted to fight the ticket, when you go to court, you can't come back when they got proof, video proof, audio proof, that you saying, dang, this car is, well, Terence Crawford said, this mother effer is fast, referring to the car. My bad. I was speeding. Out the box too. Let me correct you. Terence Crawford did get a ticket. He received the citations for speeding, and they let him go. In the same car that had no license plate, no driver's license was given, no proof of insurance, and no registration. Where I'm from, they're going to tow that vehicle. They're going to take that firearm, since Terence Crawford did not even have a permit to carry the firearm on him. And of course, since 2023, I pointed this out last week, that in the state of Nebraska, in the city of Omaha, you don't need one nowadays if you're over the age of 21. But the bottom line is they didn't know who that firearm was registered to, because it wasn't on Terence Crawford's persons. It was tucked under a mat. It looked suspicious, which gave the cop a red flag. So these are things we could actually learn from this situation. I mean, I can go ham on Terence Crawford. I can go ham on a security guard. I can go ham on the cops. But what we can do right now in this moment is use it as a teachable moment for all of us to be on point when we're operating these motor vehicles, especially if you know you're speeding. And my thing is this: don't give law enforcement a free layup. They could have canned Bud. Honestly. They could have. They could have took his car, towed it, took the gun, called it in, which I know they did, to, read off the serial numbers and all the other things they do to investigate. Why go through? Why? You gave him a free layup. If you know the climate in America is that there's so many discrepancies and violence and police-involved shootings with law enforcement and black police and black people that's driving cars. If you all know that, why not just be on point from the very beginning? So everybody can make it home safe. But they could have really got him out of there. I mean, they wouldn't have really got no real charges against Bud. But my thing is, if you know this is how, you know, law enforcement is perceived, especially in the inner city community, don't speed going 70 miles per hour and 25 miles per hour. Don't, what I'm saying is, don't give the cops any extra leeway to jam you. And I'm not saying illegally jam you. I'm saying legally. The cops worked within the confines of the policy of the department. So they're going to go all the way with that. And we can't fault anyone else but Terence Crawford. And y'all know I'm going to hold the other guy next to him accountable, the security officer. Yeah. You see Terence Crawford? You sitting right there, Mr. Security. And I'm going to stand on this. It's no beef or nothing. I'm not angry. I hope they're not angry at me, but I really don't care if they are. I'm going to keep it real regardless. But the point that I'm making is there's no beef between me and the security guard or me and Bud. We just got to keep it 100 with each other, especially the fact that we're black. Don't come out of a parking garage, go on 12th Street, and just start speeding, Bud. I mean, come on. And security didn't say, "Whoa, Bud, slow down, bro." First of all, security is supposed to analyze that whole situation. Before we get in the car, I'm expecting for a security officer that I'm paying $250 to $350 an hour. Make sure the license plate is there. Make sure the car is on point. Make sure paperwork is in the car, because we don't want any engagement with law enforcement. And my thing is this, security. You dropped the ball, big guy. Don't get mad at me. You dropped the ball. I've hired security on numerous of occasions in the past 5 to 10 years, armed and unarmed security. And I promise you, if I hire security, and some of my security officers that I hire from real legitimate companies, they might be watching, I don't know. But if they are, they already know how I am. If I get a gun stuck in my face, you're fired. If I get pulled over by law enforcement, you fired. If I got to exit my vehicle in my comfort zone while you here and you strapped, you fired. It's just that simple. I mean, I know people don't want to hear that because he's black, I'm black. We got to stop this. Okay? And I want to leave y'all with this last point. Everyone, I want to take my glasses off and say this last part. Everyone that came out and rushed to judgment and said that these white cops were racist and these white cops did something against department policy, and the the officer who was engaging with Bud Crawford knew who he was, and they already knew who he was before they pulled him over. Knowing what you've learned tonight, regardless of what you knew before, whatever you learn tonight, new information. This is a teachable moment. Hear me and hear me good. Make sure you come out to the same audience that you gave that information to and tell your audience the whole story now. Like I was waiting to hear from the whole story, because you didn't put out the whole story. Okay? Put out the whole story. Don't call those white cops racist if you don't have no evidence. And white cops are not all racist. And I have to correct Malachi Herb Williams. Herb, I know you listening, like you always listening to me. It's no beef between me and you, Herb, aka Coach Malachi. But you got to keep it real, bro. You cannot sit up here and make a statement and say that black police officers put the police officer uniform on and automatically get into the mind frame or the mentality of a cracker. That was racist, bro. And you wrong for that. And we have a lot of black men and women who protect and serve our communities all across the country, and they do a hell of a job. But for you to use the term cracker to identify a white person or a white police officer, that was racist. And you wrong for that. And Blue Blood, Sports TV, You are wrong. You told your audience. I played the audio of this earlier, y'all. If y'all wasn't here, y'all missed it. Look at the replay. You were wrong because you told everybody in your audience that they set Terence Crawford up to kill him and to make an example to the black community. That was wrong. Get all the facts first before y'all coming out with these narratives, because y'all have influence on YouTube. And that's why I use my influence as a teachable moment tonight. That's why I did it. And guess what, black people that get sensationalized? You can't say, I was so animated tonight, I could have presented this a little bit softer. This is the softest I'm going to be when I talk about these type of issues. When people have to wear a jacket that they didn't earn. Whether they white, black, we got to stand for justice and stand for truth. I am not defending the police department. I am not defending Bud Crawford. I am not defending the 3 occupants in that car. I'm defending truth, like I always do. Man, you know what? I'm doing way too much talking.